Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!
My beautiful candy canes, and welcome back. As always, I am your girl Candy Washington, and we are gonna have a fun kiki about all things the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So there has been a lot going down on these diamond encrusted streets. So we are going to get into it. Hey, Vaca, how are you? That's right, Candy Canes. As you come into the room, be sure to say hi, drop your candy cane, let me know where you're listening in from. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when our community has a fun kiki. Hello, everybody. I hope you have a drink, a cocktail, some water, some tea, some coffee, whatever, because we are going to get into it. Yay, Vaca says, what's up? I finally caught you. I have to get my tea. Yes, and there is a lot of it. There is a lot of tea going on these Beverly Hills street. So let's get into it. Let's see where should we start? Let's start with what I actually think is the hottest team. And that is the whole, it's not Garcelle, it's not Erika, it's not Diana. To me, I think the hottest tea is this triangle. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Joanne says, hi, pretty lady. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? What is up? Hey, Morgan's Musing. Hello, that's right. Hey, Candy Canes. That's right. Come through, you guys. I want to start. Hey, Darren. Yes. He goes, hey, Real Housewives will air next Wednesday. It's taking a break. Ooh, I bet you they are doing some sneaky editing, right? We're going to get into it because there was a blind item that Bravo was deleting scenes with Diana. And I'm going to get into why I think they were. I talked about it earlier, but we'll get into it because we're about to have a really fun kiki about everything that's happening with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Hey, Pink Dynamite says hello. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, I think, but you're right, Darren. They're about to do some editing because, like I always said, these reality shows with Bravo, with OWN, with all of them, they are catching up to us. We're really setting the tone. You know, TV used to be, they could edit and they could put out a narrative and a press release and we would just believe their storyline, believe their stuff. You know, we would kind of take their lead. But now with social media, with YouTube, Instagram, the blogs, they're catching up to us. And what we want is now setting the tone. Yes. Morgan says, oh, wow. Joanne says, oh, yes, we're going to get into that blind item. And Baca says, I hope so. Get dirty off my clean TV screen. Yes. I'm going to get into why I think Bravo was deleting Diana scenes. We'll get into it. But let's start with what I think is actually the hottest tea. And that is this mess right here, you guys, right here. So we all know, word on the curb, allegedly. Mauricio, again, this is from another blind item. And blind items are basically when a publication won't say the specific person's or like celebrity's name, but they'll give you just enough context clues where you can pretty much guess who it is. So the blind item basically was like, this West Coast, you know, franchise has one housewife who's having an affair with another housewife's husband, and everything would be different if this affair was, you know, out in the open. So of course everyone speculated. Oh, I think the person who dropped it was Karen Hooger's Wig. I think that's I want to give credit. I think that was the YouTube channel that dropped it. Basically they were saying, you know, Dorit and Mauricio are having an affair behind PK and Kyle's back. So that was like basically what the blind item was saying. And Karen Hooger's Wig, I at first, I'm just going to be honest, did not believe it. Now I believe it, but I don't want to believe it. And I'll tell you what changed my mind. The reason what changed my mind was because I actually saw the clip. There's a clip where I think it was right after the whole home invasion where Mauricio goes up to PK and gives PK a hug, and Dorit is next to them, and she rubs Mauricio's back, and she smells him, and then she kisses like his, like in between his shoulder blade right here. And when she smelled him, I was like, there's something going on there. That's what did it to me. It's like it was a sexual familiarity that you only have with someone that you've been intimate with. Like the way she touched him and then she smelled him, she took in his scent and then kissed him. That to me, you only do that with someone that you've been intimate with. You see what I'm saying? That's what changed it for me. I don't want to believe this. I want this to be a lie. I don't want this to be true. But there was another bombshell that hit, another blind item about this. And it said that Dorit and Mauricio had, and this happened after, so the whole blind item comes out about, alluding to the fact that Dorit and Mauricio are having this affair. Then there's another blogger out there. Her name's Dana Wilkie. And so Dana Wilkie actually used to be on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, maybe season 2, season 3. And so she posted this like meme thing. It was like a Photoshop meme of Dorit and Mauricio. And it was like, an affair to remember. But the caption actually was just like, everyone's talking about this alleged affair. Like, what are your thoughts? She wasn't co-signing it. She wasn't not co-signing it. She was just simply being like, it was basically like a community tab poll. Like, what do you think? Hot or not? Yes or no? And then Dorit clapped back and went in on Dana and on this whole thing, like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Our children call Mo and Kyle auntie and uncle. They're going to have to see this one day. I can't believe you. You're just doing this for clicks and views, but I guess you have to make your money any way you have to make it. It was like this huge clap back at Dana, and Dana got canceled for a day, but now she's back and fine. Now, do I think in general that would have been an overreaction? Yes. But a lot of people don't know Dorit and this Dana Wilkie person, Dorit and PK, have a beef, a long-standing beef. So her saying like, oh, I just innocently posted the meme and then just asked a question, that's a little bit of BS. Like, you have a history and a beef with PK and Dorit. She had sent out their address or like their street or something. PK called her the see you next Tuesday of the week twice. She said that their whole home invasion was just an insurance scam. So Dana Wilkie and PK and Dorit have a history of beefing. So I get why Dorit clapped back so hard. And I'm kind of calling a little BS on Dana being like, oh, I just innocently posted this. No, you were reveling in it. And it's not so innocent. Like, if I posted it, it's more innocent because I don't know PK and Dorit. Never met them. No idea. No dog in the fight. But when you have people threatening to sue people, threatening all this stuff, there's more to it. But after that whole backlash, there's been another blind item. And in this blind item, they were saying that there was a burner phone, like a Google burner phone between Dorit and Mauricio. But of course, now that that's out there, they're going to probably like destroy the phones if they exist or whatever, right? So yeah. So now that there's like burner phones, the way she smelled him and kissed his back, I don't want to believe this. When it first came out, I didn't. I was like, this is just a BS. But when I saw the way she smelled him and kissed his back, that's how I do my partner, So that's when I kind of had to squint and be like, ugh. Maybe there is some truth to this situation. So we'll see. But that's the situation with those guys. Let's see what is next. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we can move on to another hot topic. Hey, Joanne kisses his back. I saw that, right? I was like, girl, I'm not a violent person, but someone would do that to my partner. You kiss his back like that, we're gonna have problems. We're going to have problems. Hey, Joanne, PK hates Dana. Yes, they beat. He threatened to sue her. He threatened to sue her for what she was saying about the insurance claims and for basically doxing them. And Teddy Mellencamp, we can move on to Teddy Mellencamp after this, weirdo, blamed the whole break-in on Dana because she had essentially doxed them. I'm not going that far. I don't think Dana had anything to do with the break-in. But yeah, they have a long-standing beef. Darren says, at Baca, let's hope so and pray it happens. Exactly. Oh, yes. Joanne, Dana does deep dives too. Yeah. Yeah, she does. Because she it's like personal for her. It's really personal. Like, I think she wants her diamond back type personal. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into Teddi Mellencamp now, since we've segued into her. Teddi, didn't we cancel you a long time ago? So Teddi Mellencamp has a podcast with Tamra Judge. Not for long, though, because Tamra Judge just got her orange back, so she'll be heading back to Orange County to, film the show or whatever, and I don't think that Andy and Bravo are going to let her do the podcast and film, because on the podcast, they talk about housewives, they talk about Bravo, so it would kind of be weird if she is a housewife and she's on a podcast talking about housewives. So I think she's going to exit. They're saying like Cynthia Bailey, honestly, might take her place. But what really got them into hot water is Teddi Mellencamp said something very disgusting about LVP. She basically was just like, no one's giving Lisa Rinna grace for, grieving over her deceased mother. But yet we got all the smoke and we got all the slack for not giving LVP grace when her brother passed away, but like her and her brother weren't even close. We didn't even know she had a brother, like blah, 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 all this stuff. Just being very disrespectful and extremely distasteful and very, very insensitive. LV clapped back and was like posting on Twitter, like, you keep my brother's name out of your mouth. Why are you talking about someone who isn't even here anymore? Like, me and my brother were very close. And then she was like posting different photos of all of them together. And to me, it broke my heart that LVP even had to do that, because regardless of the truth is LVP and her brother were very close. They were very, very close. First of all, Teddi, get your facts straight and shut up. Secondly, we all knew LVP was grieving. We as the viewers knew. So of course you knew Teddi. And there were scenes that when Teddi was there, when LVP was talking about the death of her brother who committed the S word, and how much she was in pain and how much she was grieving. So the ladies knew, they didn't care. They took it as an opportunity. They're like, oh, LVP isn't on her game. Now let's go after her. Kyle wanted to be the HBIC on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So she used Lisa Rinna to go after LVP to dethrone her, so she could, in her mind, think she's the new, HBIC in the Real Housewives of Bravo. And of course, Dorit went along because she's a follow along. She's a pick me. She doesn't have a brain of her own, right? So Teddi, just shut up, Teddi. Like, shut up, Teddi. Go away, Teddi. Nobody wants your, ED inducing, get fit with Teddi accountability. Nobody wants you to hold them accountable, Teddi. Nobody wants your allegedly fraudulent husband who was defrauding elderly people with his fraudulent security company. Speaking of fraudulent security companies, it was Teddi's husband's company who allegedly did the security for Kyle's house conveniently when Kyle's house was robbed and all that stuff. So who's really doing the insurance scams around here, right? You see allegedly out there, I'm putting it that way. So Teddi, please shut up, Teddi. Then she tried to double down and be like, oh, I don't know anything about grieving. I don't know, blah, 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 all this stuff. Just shut up. Tamra was mortified. Tamra apologized to LVP because Tamra also doesn't want to lose her orange. Like, she just got it back. She doesn't want to lose it over Teddi running her mouth. I don't know how long their podcast is going to keep going, particularly now that Tamra's not going to be there, and particularly nobody likes Teddi, and Teddi is talking out of both sides of her face like an idiot. So yeah, there was that. And even if LVP wasn't close to her brother, which isn't true, she was close to him. You don't have the right to dictate to someone how they grieve when they lose someone in their family and that they love. You know what I mean? Like, just to say that and to talk about someone who's deceased like that, just disgusting, Teddi. That's why nobody liked you, Teddi. That's why you're off the show, Teddi. That's why, just shut up, Teddi. Just shut up. Shut up. That's really off to say to you, Teddi. Shut up. There's a whole thing going around saying, oh, Teddi only said that about LVP because she wants to get revenge on her. She's being spiteful because Teddi was trying to get her younger brother cast on Vanderpump Rules, and he ultimately like wasn't cast on Vanderpump Rules. And so everyone's saying, oh, that's why Teddi is saying this, because she is trying to get back at LVP for not hiring her brother. I don't think so. I think do I think Teddi felt some type of way about LVP because her brother wasn't cast, even though it's not really up to LVP? Yeah, 100%. But I think that was years ago. I think the reason why Teddi said this is because don't forget, she was a part of the Fox Force 5. She was the 5th member. So she's a part of that whole Mean Girl gang with Kyle and Rinna and Dorit and Erika. And if you think about what she actually said, she was saying that in defense of Rinna. I think she was using her platform to be another pick-me, to be another follower, to be up Rinna's and Kyle and everybody else's butt. I don't think it had anything to do with her brother not being hired at Vanderpump Rules. Like, that was years ago, old news, who cares, move along. She was saying that to put the narrative out of, well, if you guys expected us to give LVP grace when she was mourning, then how come then you guys need to give Rinna grace? Because remember, Rinna Hole's narrative was, oh, I'm an a-hole. Oh, I've been a disaster on social media because I'm grieving, because my mom passed away, because I'm grieving. So you have to let me be me because I'm grieving, right? That is why Teddi came out with this whole stupid thing about LVP and her brother and all of that stuff. That's why. The point she was trying to make, but she's an idiot and didn't make it, was, oh, you wanted us to give grace to LVP, then you have to give grace to Rinna because they're both mourning. And if I had to do all over again, I would give her grace because she's mourning. That was the idiotic point Teddi was trying to make. But completely fell on her face because A, she lied about the situation with LVP and her brother. They all knew she was grieving, regardless of the relationship she had with the brother, which in reality actually was a close relationship. You don't speak on someone who's passed. You don't speak on the way somebody grieves. Like, it was just so disgusting and dirty. And it's just like, ugh, bye. Like, Teddi, just go away already, Teddi. Like, nobody is checking for you. We didn't send for you. Don't come for us unless we send for you, Teddi. Go away. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box, and then we can move on to the next hot topic, because I'm telling you, there is so much going on. Yay! Joanne says, your conspiracy theories are always right. Right? I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I toot. Like, a lot of them turn out to be true. Because I always squint. Hey, Natoski! She says, yes, I made it. Yes, you did, sweetheart. Hey, Joanne, wasn't LVP Brothers Billy at a party for her? Yes, this is the thing. LVP and her brother were very close. Very close. Up and Adam said, because he used to like work with all of them, that when her brother passed away, she took in her nephews and housed them and fed them and made sure they were okay. Because like, to lose a parent or a brother or a child to the S word, like, that is, oof, that's a different type of pain. You know, it's one thing if they're sick or if there's an accident, but when it's the S word, it's a different type of pain. It's a different type of pain when someone you love, unfortunately, gets to a place where they choose to take themselves out. You know, that's a different type of pain. And her and her brother were very close. He lived over in London. So, like, of course he wasn't, you know, around every single day. He lived in a different country. But they were very close. Hey, Darren, Teddi is a gnat shoe fly shoe, 100%. Teddi, you're not even on our screens anymore. Go away. Nadaski says, yep. Hey, Shay I don't understand when Andy says that about the housewives, because a good portion of them have their own podcast. I kind of question Tamara because she's friends with Teddi. Birds of a feather flock together. Listen, you are 100% right, because think about it. Didn't Heather Dubrow come back? And Heather Dubrow has her own podcast. It's like Heather's World or something like that. Heather Dubrow has a podcast. She has like 5 other shows on different networks with her husband. So it's like Vicky's coming out with a podcast. Vicky already I was actually on Vicky Gunvalson's podcast last year, and she's coming out with a new one with Kelly Dodd. And a lot of the housewives have podcasts. Like, miss me with that. I think it's the favorites. I think if you're a favorite, or how he wants to spin it. Certain people get certain things and other people don't. And I don't like Tamara. I like Tamara in certain moments, but I don't like Tamara's a better housewife than Teddy is because she's just more interesting. But Tamara's also a snake like Teddy is. Say one thing to your face and then one thing behind your back. Smile in your face and then go around to everybody trash talking you. So Tamara's another snake out there. Hey Natoski, she saw the weakness when LVP was grieving and Kyle evilly took advantage of it, 100%. And Kyle, LVP not only lost her brother, she also lost her mother. So she was grieving two people at a certain period of time. Hey, Fatty Back Soup says, Teddy. I know, Teddy's so gross. Teddy is such a gnat, shoe fly. Exactly. That's right, Natoski. She lost two people. She lost her brother and her mother. That's a lot, trashy. Teddy. Hey, April. Hey, Candy. I've been missing you in the lives. Glad to catch you. Yes. Always a Candy Cane fan. Thank you, April. Yes. That's right, you guys. If you're having fun, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. I know some people say they weren't being notified. So if you have to unhit the bell and then re-hit the bell, maybe you have to reset it, be sure to do that. Hey, Natoski. Teddy's actions continue to validate why we can't stand her. She's disgusting. She's actually gross. Yes, Satoski. Hey, Joanne, the Force 5 effers are nasty. They are. They're disgusting. I'm going to get more into it. Hey, Satoski, Tamara is snaky herself. Exactly, and she is an opportunist, 100%. She's an opportunist. She smiles in your face when she thinks you're in favor and then will stab you behind the back and throw you under the bus at any given time. She will ditch Teddy now. She got her peach back. Exactly. Tamara is no one's friend, 100%. Hey, Misty! She says, hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Vodka, aha, yes, and I really hope your theory of Lisa getting fired is the rightest one. I think it is. I think that's why they're going on hiatus this week, so that they can start to sort of, re-edit. So let's get into that, the re-editing. Hey, Miss T, conspiracy is always better with a key. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you. All right, so okay, Shay B said she should distance herself, otherwise people will turn on Tamara as well, 100%. That's why Tamara apologized to LVP with the quickness. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't say that. I didn't mean it. I get it. I'm sorry. Because she knew the deal. But let's get into Bravo distancing, Bravo taking a week off to re-edit. Because again, like I said, Bravo, these reality TV, companies, even OWN TV, we see it over at Carlos King's Hood as well, with all the Love and Marriages. Reality TV at this point in time is catching up to us. They're catching up to Twitter. They're catching up to the blogs. They're catching up to the YouTube content creators. They're catching up to the blind items. They're catching up to who, like, we see through the production. We see through the fake storylines. We get tea before it even hits our screens. So they're catching up to us. So again, I think that a lot of the editing, for example, let's get into it, right? How all of a sudden Bravo leaked that deleted scene with Rinna admitting that she lied about that stupid storyline that nobody cared about. It was the dumbest storyline you ever heard in your life, about Harry Hamlin was allegedly upset at Giselle for not thanking him enough about that spaghetti sauce. It never aired on the show, but it all of a sudden leaked once now everyone is against Rinna, everybody is against Erika, everybody is against Dorit. Now that all that's coming out, now all of a sudden Bravo wants to leak a never before seen scene. Why didn't they keep the scene in the first place? Because you got to think about this. That's a huge thing. You have Lisa Rinna on camera in a scene straight up admitting that she lied and faked an entire storyline. That's huge. Even though it was the dumbest storyline, who gives a crap about spaghetti sauce? And of course, Giselle is amazing and gracious, and we have her on camera saying, oh, thank you so much for the spaghetti sauce, right? Who cares about the thank yous? Who cares about the spaghetti sauce? It was the dumbest thing in the world. The real juice, the real meat is the fact that you have a housewife on camera admitting to completely faking a storyline simply to get back at another housewife. That's huge. And Bravo decided not to air that during the actual season. Why? Because again, the executives and the people there, whoever is working behind the scenes, don't have a true pulse on what is going to land with us. They don't have a true pulse on who we're going to side with. We saw it with Puppygate. We were disgusted with Puppygate. We were tired of Puppygate. We all, at the end of the day, was like justice for LVP. They thought that we were all going to be on Dorit, Rinna, Kyle side. No, that was Mean Girls of Beverly Hills trending. We saw it with Potomac, right? They thought we all were going to hate Monique. That's a different situation when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's a different conversation. But they thought we were all going to hate Monique. Do we condone her violence? No. But did we understand it against Candace? Yes. And Candace turned out to be more of the villain than Monique did in this particular situation. So as we can see over and over again, they're catching up to us. So I think the reason why they deleted the scene was because they wanted to keep the fake storyline going. They wanted to keep the fake narrative going. And then now that they realize that's not going to fly, Garcelle is the #1 fan favorite. Sutton is coming out swinging. Nobody is buying Diana's BS or Lisa Rinna's BS. Lisa Rinna messed up and went after Kathy Hilton. That's where she really messed up. She should have never went after Kathy Hilton. And I'll get into why I think they went into Kathy Hilton in a little bit. Because we doing it today, guys. We doing it today. And that's where she really messed up. And now that I think, in my conspiracy theory opinion, now that I think Bravo and NBC want Rinna gone, well, what's a great way to get her gone? Let's start leaking things that are unfavorable. Let's start giving her a bad edit, as they say. So you have to think about, what was their rationale for not airing that explosive scene actually during the season? But yet now you want to leak it. Now you want to leak it because it serves your agenda. You see what I'm saying? Another thing that they did, another blind item that came out about Bravo's editing and deleted scenes. There's another blind item out now, and it was just like, West Coast housewife, foreign housewife, and foreign's not derogatory by any means, just not born from America. So, how we all know Diana is born in Bosnia, so no disrespect by saying foreign at all. Foreign housewife, had scenes where she was being confronted about her past that were deleted. So now there's a blind item saying Bravo deleted scenes where Diana was being confronted about her past. Well, you're thinking, right? Well, why would Bravo delete Diana's scenes when they're talking about her past? Wouldn't that be juicy? Don't we want to know what's going on? Don't we care about that? Okay. I'll tell you why, in my humble conspiracy theorist opinion. Same exact reason why you see, first of all, Diana never was it. She was never it. She never commanded the screen. She was never it. She was just flat. She's just a flat person in general. She's flat in real life, and she was flat on the screen. But if you notice, she herself was getting less and less and less screen time, to the point where they were just shooting scenes with Asher playing the piano, and she was there, and it was the whole, I didn't know you were here, really, with the whole camera crew, get out of here. And remember, they had, in my opinion, I think someone from Bravo planted that whole story of, oh, why did Diana want to join reality TV? She already had all the money, she already had all of this, and she's not even in any of the scenes. She doesn't seem interested. We're seeing more of Asher than her. Oh, she joined the show because she wanted to promote Asher. That's why. Why would she join it if she has all this questionable stuff in her past? Why would she want to be on the show, on reality TV? Well, the reason why she wanted to be on reality TV was because she wanted to be famous. Money is one thing, fame is another. She wanted to be famous. Do I think a byproduct of that, if she can put Asher on? Sure. But this chick is best friends with Elton John. This chick has all the money in the world to put him on tour, to make him an Erika Jane. She doesn't need the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to put Asher on. Come on now. That doesn't make any sense. The reason why I think Bravo and the network planted that story is because they're trying to distance themselves from her and put it more on her. She wanted to be on TV. She sought us out because she had this agenda. Rather than we messed up. We hired an alleged child sex trafficker, right? So instead of Bravo putting a statement out being like, hey, everybody, we really messed up, we hired and put on our television show an alleged child sex trafficker. We know we're Bravo. We know that we employ felons, fraudsters, white collar criminals, but we draw the line when it comes to child sex trafficking, because that's what she's alleged to doing, child and adult. Young men, young women, and underage as well, which is children. Allegedly she would get young men, young women, young children, and she would basically get them for sex and other things for really wealthy men, which across different countries, which is international sex trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, right? Children and adults. So instead of Bravo coming out and being like, our bad, now they're trying to distance themselves from Diana. So of course they're going to have these deleted scenes because Bravo wants to lessen their liability, their accountability as much as they can. If it is known, a blind item isn't proof. A blind item is basically like, hey, word on the street, here's a rumor, here's the tea. But a blind item isn't necessarily 100% true or, proven, but majority of the time there's some truth to it. And I believe it because if Bravo on air or is known to have this information and they didn't report it to authorities, like, shouldn't you report to authorities? Because we have to still remember, this is still a job. This is still a corporation. So if you're a corporation, like, I'm pretty sure if I worked at Starbucks and there was this huge allegation that I was a child sex trafficker, somebody at my job probably would call the cops. My manager might want to pull me in the corner and be like, Candy, so there's some allegations going around. So you mean to tell me nobody at Bravo, nobody at NBC found it appropriate to pull Diana aside and be like, what's up, what's up, what's up? Because if you notice, they did a little bit in the very beginning, because like I said, they're catching up to us. We're not catching up to them anymore. They're catching up to us, because in the beginning, I think it was episode 1 or 2, the shady producer was like, oh, so you're not, when she was talking about the book, remember? And they're like, oh, so you're not this, like, international sex trafficker or whatever they said, right? And she was like, no, no, whatever she said. And then she was like, I can't believe that they, like, caught on with the whole book thing. So Bravo, you knew. You knew. It's on camera. The producer asked her. So you can no longer act like you didn't know. All I am saying is that I highly doubt I could get a job at Starbucks if everybody in the hiring office thought I allegedly was a child sex trafficker. I doubt I would be allowed to brew your coffee. But let alone they thought it was a good job to put her on our screen. Now that they realize, wait a minute, this is deeper than we thought. It's not a kiki, it's not clicks and views. The fans are pissed off. The fans are disgusted. The fans are upset. Let's delete any of those scenes. Let's phase her out. Let's show Asher. Let's take this Wednesday off to do some re-edits, because we need to spin this now so we don't get in trouble. Because there has to be some type of liability somewhere. If not legally, then definitely morally. So I believe the blind item. I think Bravo now has been doing a lot of damage control and a lot of cleanup. Because again, Garcelle is coming out on top. Sutton is coming out on top. Kathy's coming out on top. Because I remember back in the day, by back in the day, I mean like April. And then let's get into Kathy and Rinna. Remember back in the day, and that was like April, we had all the press releases that were pretty much coming from like Bravo, like the press placements. Oh, is Kathy Hilton the villain? Oh, is Kathy Hilton loses control in Aspen, right? All of that stuff, and it was really spearheaded by Lisa Rinna and all of that. But then when they quickly realized maybe it's not the best idea to come after a Hilton, then all of a sudden it switched to Rinna being nuts, Rinna being crazy, and then Kathy Hilton emerged as another fan favorite. Then all of a sudden they switched their tone real quick. Again, they're catching up to us. They no longer dictate the narrative. They no longer dictate the fan favorites. We do. And now that there's so much information out there, they're catching up to us now. So let's get into Kathy, Aspen, Rinna, Kyle, the racist, homophobic rumors, receipts, right? Let's get into that. So the whole Aspen thing, which is what we've all been waiting for, right? We have all been waiting for this whole situation with Aspen, because it was built up to be this huge thing. It was built up to be this huge thing where it's like, oh, Kathy said something racist. Kathy said something homophobic. Kathy went crazy, all of this stuff. And a lot of those rumors were being spearheaded by Lisa Rinna. And then she got, her lackeys, Erika, to come up along with it. I don't know if Dorit has co-signed it yet, but she has no brain of her own, so she probably did. And then Kyle, of course, has no sense of loyalty and was trying to didn't choose sides with her sister, but was riding with Rinna, which to me is disgusting and stupid and crazy. Okay. The reason why I think Rinna and Dorit and Kyle and actually, let me back that up. The reason why I think Rinna, Erika, and Dorit went after Kathy and Aspen is because they saw how tight and close and dynamic the trio of Kathy, Garcelle, and Sutton was. We can even add in Crystal in there, and Crystal. We'll give them a quad, and Crystal, right? This is the thing. Kathy and Garcelle are actually friends. Like, if you watched last season, they're friends. You watch this season, Kathy seeks Garcelle out. They talk, they catch up. Kathy was like, oh, Rick was saying we're going to be at Garcelle's show tomorrow. She's like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They're actually real friends, because we cannot forget Garcelle is of that actual world. There's one thing to have money. There's another thing to have access and power. Garcelle is a part of the world of money, access, and power. She's been a working actress for years. She is 100% scandal-free. She was married to one of the most powerful and top agents in the world, because he worked for CAA. I don't know if you guys know about like acting and singing and all that stuff, but there are a handful of agencies that pretty much run the show. There's WME, there's ICM, there's CAA. You can kind of put Gershon there if you want to. It's like the top agencies. These are the people who rep. You think about the Brad Pitts of the world, the Angelina Jolie's of the world, the Kevin Hart's of the world, the top people, right? This is the people who represent those people, like the truly A-list people. That is the world that Garcelle is actually in, right? She used to date Will Smith. She used to date Jamie Foxx. She was on that show. She's really in that actual world, right? The world that Rinna could only dream about. Okay, Rinna? Shut up, Rinna. I don't even like you, Rinna. Ugh. Anyway, she's actually in that world, right? Like Luann said, money doesn't buy you class. She's actually in that world, so she's really friends with them. And I think that when Rinna and Erika and Dorit not at the Homeless Toothless thing, but at the Studio 54 party, when it was very, very clear whose side Kathy's was on. She had been on Garcelle's and Sutton's sides the whole time, but that was a clear divide. I think in that moment when Kathy was totally laughing and gassing them at the Homeless Toothless thing, and they saw how powerful and dynamic that group were, that's when I think they're like, let's take Kathy out. Let's make her life hell so she'll leave the show. And that's when I think they hatched this whole scheme to probably provoke or irritate Kathy to get her to leave the show. Because remember, their whole plan was to divide and conquer when it came to Garcelle and Sutton. I think that they're kind of indifferent to Garcelle. I think they kind of like her. They kind of don't. I think they wanted Sutton gone. The reason why Erika said she was a liability is exactly what happened. You know, when Sutton came out and was like, actually, I had to hire a lawyer. Actually, I had to get my own litigation because your legal team reached out to me, or the legal team that is suing you reached out to me. And I think they wanted Sutton gone because Sutton, again, gives zeros F. She will do the deep dive. She'll do the research. She'll say it to your face. She played Rinna when it came to the receipts about the Elton John thing. She had all the receipts when it came to that, all of the receipts. Basically said, Rinna, you're lying. Here are the literal receipts. Like, don't play in my face, okay, sweetheart? Like, don't play in my face. So Sutton has systematically really played the hell out of Erika and Rinna. And so I think they were trying to get rid of Sutton for that fact. They realized they could not do divide and conquer with Garcelle and Sutton because Garcelle did not take the bait. She just basically said, you know what? I'm standing by my friend. She's not a liability. If you're going to say it to me, say it to her face. And they basically quickly realized divide and conquer was not going to work. Then they realized they were even stronger with Kathy. So they wanted to hatch a plan to make Kathy's life so miserable on the show that she would leave in order to weaken the other side. Because as we all know in Beverly Hills, it's two sides. It's that weird Fox Force 4 and then the other ones. But it's very clear that there are two divisive sides. The reason why I think Kathy went off the deep end and probably said something squirrely about Kyle? Sure. I go off the deep end and say squirrely stuff about Kyle. Because she's vile. Goodbye, Kyle. Bye, Kyle. She's annoying. She's producing. She has no storyline. And I don't think she's endearing anymore. So there were certain times where I thought she was like funny and cute, but like it's old now. Now, I know that in the past, there have been things that the Hiltons have said, you know, N-words and things like this, all of that. I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying we should sweep that under the rug. 100% not. It's messed up all day long. But I'm going to talk particularly about the Aspen thing. Do I think Kathy Hilton went off a racist and homophobic rampage in Aspen? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Where are and I know that Rinna over the weekend tweeted some cryptic thing in like a manila envelope, and it said Aspen receipts, and it said silence is golden. We know nothing was in that. Nothing was in that envelope, Rinna. Who you lying to? Because this is the thing. Rinna is a hothead. If Rinna had receipts, we would have seen them by now. If Rinna had receipts, the moment she thought that she could defend herself and call someone out, she would have posted them. We would have seen them by now. And we already know Rinna is a liar. She was lying remember at the dinner when Sutton came out with the receipts about the Elton John, she was lying. When she got caught in the lie, she was like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Because she was like, well, I said that you had canceled the table. And Sutton was like, well, I have the receipts. And then Rinna was like, well, I don't want to do this with you. I don't want to, because she got caught in the lie. And again, Rinna, remember the scene where Rinna admitted, yeah, I lied about Harry Hamlin. Rinna is a liar. The chick does not have any receipts. It's going to be the same receipts Simon Guobadia had about Fallon, where it was like that grainy person walking on the driveway. And it's like, this doesn't prove cheating. This proves they got takeout. Like, what are you talking about, right? Rinna doesn't have any receipts, in my opinion. I think she's lying. Another reason why I don't think Kathy Hilton went on a racist, homophobic tirade is because no one else is saying this except for Rinna. And I think maybe Erika and Dorit. By default, Erika and Dorit. Maybe I don't even think Diana is. I think Diana was more just going after Garcelle, right? No one else is saying this. How come the alleged like assistant that she went off on hasn't said anything, hasn't spoken? You know, how come the alleged waiter, whoever it was, has said nothing and hasn't spoken, come out? How come there hasn't been any clips or any type of whatever, you know? There's been nothing. And also another reason why I don't think it's true is given Kathy's reaction. Kathy to me, and I'm going to tell you why. Kathy to me, if she really had went off on some racist, homophobic rant and got called out and caught, I think she would have dipped the F out. No more filming, no more doing press, no more being around. She would have just bloop, dipped out and with behind the scenes done all the damage control her money could buy. Because we have to remember the last episode, right? It was either the last episode before that. Kathy has this exact conversation with Garcelle. She was like, oh, I was talking to Rick, and he was like, oh, you're going on Garcelle's show. You have to be like so careful these days. You know, you say anything, you can be canceled. And she was saying how he grew up in such like a strict household. He could never really be himself or do anything, you know, just talking about different restrictions and everything, blah, 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 blah. So Kathy Hilton is aware of what cancel culture is. Kathy Hilton is aware of what the climate is. Kathy Hilton's husband, Rick Hilton, already put her basically on notice, like, be careful, watch your mouth. You know, you may not mean something, but you could say something that could get you canceled, could get us in trouble, whatever. So do I now think Kathy Hilton went to Aspen and lost her mind and started calling people the N-word and being homophobic? No, it doesn't track. And also because her behavior now, she's doing press. She had a party. She had a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills viewing party on the first episode that she was on this season at her house with press and influencers and media. My friend went to it. She's been out here doing press and Watch What Happens Live and talking and everything. Do you really think if Bravo had footage or anybody had footage of Kathy Hilton in 2022 in Aspen saying the N-word and going off, she would be out here just like la 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 la? No, she would have shut it down behind the scenes with all of their money, and she would have not done the press, not done anything. She would have reacted differently. She would have reacted like someone who was guilty, but she's not reacting that way. And nobody else is coming forward. And I don't believe Rinna. Rinna could tell me the sky is blue, and I would be like, you're still lying because you're a liar, and that's what liars do. They lie. Rinna posting a tweet with a manila envelope being like Aspen receipts. What in the waste of a tweet is that? What in the waste of breath is that? Show the receipt. So show the receipts. No one's believing you, Rinna. You're not going to do damage control. No one wants you back. You're done. You're canceled. Bye. Leave us alone. Hello. So that is that. And speaking of Kathy, I'm going to say this last thing, and then I'll see what you guys are saying in the comments, because there's still so much to talk about with this one. Paris Hilton is actually the MVP. Did you guys see the tweet Paris did? Where it was like she cropped out the other people. She had her mom, Garcelle, and Sutton and Crystal, and it was just like my favorites, my faves, whatever. And she left out Kyle. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Miss T, Teddy's husband has all the passwords, right? Joanne says, right, Miss T. Hey. She says, hi, Bernice. Hi, Miss Bernice. Miss T says, Giselle and Robin have a great podcast. That's right. Giselle and Robin had their funky old podcast when they were on there with Carlos King going after the Real Housewives of Dubai. I thought that was extremely distasteful. And how come Andy didn't check them for talking poorly about another Bravo show? You know? Hey, Miss Bernice. She goes, Teddy, Diane, and Carrie are wasted space. Like, why are they here? Exactly, 100%. They really just need to go. They really need to go. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Ms. T says, that sauce again. I know. Such a lie. Nataski, that literally was an annoyingly stupid storyline to make up. Her admitting to make it up shows she was targeting Garcelle. Exactly, Miss T. Why lie on sauce? Exactly. Joanne says she liked the reunion when she told Garcelle Harry said what's wrong with Garcelle, in my opinion. 100%. I think this is the thing when it comes to Lisa Rinna. I think she lies on Harry all the time. Anytime she's trying to get out of something or to create something where she feels she has protection and cover, she'll be like, oh, but it's Harry or the girls or whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, I think she lies on all the time. Harry is in Canada with his person living his best life. Hey, Catherine, that is huge. And then double down at the reunion. I think it's time for Lisa to be on pause, 100%. Hey, Toski, like I said before, they underestimate our moral compass. They do. They really do. Like, they don't understand at all who we're going to identify with and what we're going to want to see. Miss T, Bravo protects until they can't anymore, 100%. Hey, Natoski, they went after Kathy because she supports Garcelle. Exactly. That's exactly why they went after Kathy. They wanted to make her life miserable so she would leave the show so it would weaken the other side because they're absolutely crazy. Hey, Catherine, just staging reality TV is ridiculous. Let's call it scripted reality because that's what it is. 100%. Hey, Darren Hood, Bravo's getting exposed by the fans, and I'm here for it. They really are. They really are. Miss T said, Diana gotta go. Nataski Dura Diana's past is super dark on Epstein level. Exactly. It is. It really, really is. 100%. I'm gonna go down a little bit. So if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Hey, Joanne, she goes, Rinna pretending she can't handle the grief. I know. And Miss T, what did Kathy say allegedly? That's right. There's been nothing specific. It's just, oh, she said the N-word. Oh, she went on a racist rant. Oh, she said something homophobic. Anytime someone really has gone off, there's always a sound bite. There's always a quote. This is very generic ways to get canceled in 2022. You know what I mean? And I think that's why they're going after Kathy like that, literally just to go after the show, because she's a fan favorite. She's super powerful. And she was siding with selling in Garcelle. Natasha C says, I'm obsessed with this analysis because Beverly Hills is so layered. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Shay B says, me too. That is right. Hey, Natasha, kiss Crystal do Sutton under the bus. Okay, so let's get into the Crystal and Sutton thing, right? All right. Crystal has grown on me. I like Crystal. I think she has the potential to be a good housewife. I think she really does. I just think that, one, she needs to get very clear that you're never going to be a part of the Fox 4, whatever the hell they call themselves. Them. You're never going to be a part of them. They're never going to let you sit at their table. They're just not. Because there's goodness in you, Crystal. There's honesty in you, Crystal, right? I'm going to get to why I think she threw Sutton under the bus. I think the reason why Crystal in this season, and then I'm going to get to why I think the girls was coming after her about her ED. I'm going to get into that too. The reason why I think Crystal threw Sutton under the bus, because I think Crystal got put into a corner and she didn't know how to respond. And so she just sort of made something up in order to defend herself. That's why Crystal needs to get more of a backbone. She needs more self-esteem. She needs to stop being such a pick-me. And then I think she'd be a great housewife. So I think when Garcelle was sort of like calling her out on the whole, oh, you're that girl who doesn't see color, or you're this, you're that, right? That whole Sutton thing. I think Crystal didn't know how to respond, and she got back into a corner. And instead of just being like, well, I don't know, or letting it go, she's like, oh, well, Sutton's something really dark. But then she didn't say what the dark thing she said was. It was that whole weird kids in the pool thing made no sense. Who cares? She's like, oh, there's a bunch of kids in my pool. Whatever. That's not dark. Who cares? You know what I mean? So I think that Crystal got pulled into a corner. So overall, I'm going to give Crystal a bit of a pass. I think she should have maybe not said that, but whatever. We're moving away from it. The reason why I think the girls, and by the girls I mean Erika and Dorit and Kyle, went so hard against Crystal with her ED was, remember an episode, it was maybe episode like 3 or 4, right? Or maybe even 2, when Crystal brought up what happened last season. And she was like, I don't feel safe in this group. I feel like nobody validated how I felt. I feel like everybody, made fun of me when I was talking about, I felt violated. I felt like I had to defend my feelings. I felt like, you guys sort of dismissed how I felt. And I don't feel safe in this group. Again, given cancel culture, given that these other women are white and Crystal is Asian, given all the situation, I think they felt some type of way about Crystal speaking her truth and being like, I did not feel safe within this particular group. I think they felt some type of way. And the moment Crystal said that, they were hatching their plan to discredit and dismiss and demean Crystal. Because prior to that, they were happy to have her be their lackey. She was going against Sutton. She wasn't really gelling with Garcelle, right? They were happy to have her be their lackey. But the moment she said she didn't feel safe, all of a sudden, Erika was no longer hanging out over at Crystal's house. All of a sudden, Kyle wasn't really checking for Crystal. Then all of a sudden, all of the behind Crystal's back conversations pop up. Oh, well, I heard, she had a falling out with her 14 best friends in Beverly Hills. Oh, because, she would hold stuff in and then she would randomly throw it out. Oh, she was a liar. Oh, all of this stuff. She had this big falling out with all these people. So all of a sudden, there's like this huge rumor about her falling out with 14 other women. Then all of a sudden, the girls are like, oh, well, Crystal told me that she's purging every day. Well, Crystal told me that, she's still struggling. Well, Crystal told me that she never got help. Like, what do you mean she never got help? She has every resource and every, means in the world. What do you mean she never got help? Crystal said she has this issue with eating, but she looks good. She looks so good, right? They were planting all of these seeds of doubt to discredit and demean Crystal. The moment she said, I don't feel safe in this group because of the way I was treated last season. To be fair, Crystal, you did overreact. But we're all allowed to have our feelings, right? We're all allowed to have our feelings. We're all allowed to have our opinions. You weren't you may have felt violated, but feelings are not facts, sweetheart. Sutton didn't violate you. But I respect that's how you felt. And that's, I think that's more of what she wanted. Where you can say, objectively the situation, there was no violation. There was no malice intent. It was a simple exchange. It wasn't that deep. However, I honor and respect that the way you experienced this was violation. The way you experienced this was triggering to you. So we can respect and honor how you felt. I think that's what Crystal wanted. But you're not going to get that with these girls. Not the Fox 5, 4, whatever they are. You're not going to get that with these girls. So the moment Crystal was honest and was just like, I don't feel safe because you guys don't actually respect me and how I feel, that is the moment they turned on Crystal. Because you have to think about what they were saying. Oh, well, she has all this money, but she never got help. Oh, she looks so good, but she's saying she's purging every day. Well, didn't she have a falling out with all of these women? But didn't they say she was a liar? Didn't they say she holds a grudge? You see what I'm saying? It was a smear campaign. It was a smear campaign. That's what they were doing to Crystal. But I think Crystal quickly realized that, and that's why she's on the other good foot, as they say right now. But let's see what else is going on. Okay, so there was also the thing saying that Denise may be in because Rinna's out. There was also the blind item or whatever it was saying that Denise and Aaron knew about Tom Girardi's alleged, fraudulent behavior. And that was a big reason why Aaron didn't want her on the show, because he didn't want her associated with that. And that it was Rinna was the one who told Denise about it. I don't know if I believe all of that. That to me seems a little bit convoluted. I know I love like a conspiracy theory, but I think to me that sounds a little too weird, like too perfectly weirdly put together. Like, no, what I think happened was that I still think Brandy's a liar. I don't think that Denise hooked up with her. I think Brandy wanted a moment. I think Brandy needed some money. I think Brandy was desperate. She made up a lie about Denise because Denise was a new hot thing. She thought that would get her back in the show. It did not. Denise got really pissed and she left the show. I don't think it had anything to do with Erika and Tom. But that's just what I'm saying. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Toski, Garcelle has connections. Yes, she does. Hey, Miss T, have to separate all the heavy hitters and fan faves. That's so Bravo. Won't get rid of the mean girls. Yep. Hey, Young Rich, how you get into their child? I know. I'm on my way, guys. I'm on my way into the top tier, baby. Hey, Miss T, they don't like Kathy because she loves Garcelle. Exactly. Hey, Toski, haha. Shut up, Rinna. I don't even like you. I don't. Hey, Mitoski, they are trying to divide their alliance. They're trying to divide and conquer, and it's backfiring. It's not working because we see you. We see you. Hey, Shay B, Rinna shows anger through her jealousy. To me, Rinna is just a deeply, I don't like to use this word to describe a person, but to me, she's a deeply, I'll say fractured. She's a deeply fractured person who is really just, oof. Hey, Joanne, Kathy is more alike than Kyle and Rinna, and that pisses them off 100%. And I also think Kyle is jealous that Kathy and Garcelle have such a good relationship, and she doesn't. Hey, Toski, Sutton on testosterone is my favorite. Me too. Love Sutton. So do I. I love Sutton. HAB, love the new and improved via her testosterone. And you know what? I love seeing Sutton date. I think that's such a cute, fun, relatable storyline. Being like, I met this guy on Bumble, and like, I don't know if he likes me. Like, do you want another date or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's really cute. Like, her dating to me is just super relatable, super down to earth. It's really cool. Sutton, do not take dating advice from Kyle, who word on the street is about to get divorced from cheating old Mauricio. Did you guys hear about the Mauricio thing? Do you guys, does Dorit kisses A though? Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. Did you guys hear? Oh wait, Nataski says Kyle's the worst. Give me a few cocktails and I'd say some stuff about her on camera too. Exactly. Did you guys hear the rumor about Mauricio? It was like a couple years ago where they were saying he had cheated on Kyle allegedly with this woman who was, I believe she was a sex worker, and she wrote this book. And I don't know the name of the book. You guys have to Google this stuff. But allegedly in the book, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know if anything's been proven. I don't know if there's any receipts. So I'm going to say allegedly. Allegedly in the book, she says she was sleeping with Mauricio and she was like, oh, I have a friend who wants to join. And Mauricio's like, okay. And she's like, but my friend is trans. And he was like, okay, but I want you guys to dress up as like police officers or something. That's the rumor. I didn't say it. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying that was the rumor of what they said in the book. Now, the thing with Mauricio and Kyle and the cheating and all of that stuff, and then we could get into some more of the stuff because there's just so much stuff going on, right? When it comes to that, for some reason, I think Mauricio and Kyle really did have real love, a really solid marriage. Do I think Mauricio cheats on Kyle? Yes. But for some reason, I don't want to believe it's with Dorit. Like, that just to me was just a step too far. But the way she smelled his back, I was just like, girl, whoa. And then she kissed it. Ah! It was just too much. So now do I think maybe that Kyle and Mauricio are kind of like that couple where, because if you noticed on the episode where it was her birthday, when he went to kiss her, she was like, okay. Like, it wasn't like that lovingness. It's almost like brotherly, sisterly now sometimes. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. I'm going to go down a bit. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. Rocker says, Kyle seems fun, but I don't like her these days on the show. I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Nataski, Garcelle was like, that's funny, Sutton. Don't you have a literal receipts? And Rinna's face dropped. Exactly. And that's when she was like, I don't want to do this with you. I don't want to do this with you anymore. I don't want to do this with you. Let's see. Hey, Nataski. She goes, I mean, according to that Hilton book, Kathy and Rick aren't angels, but the narrative about Aspen is definitely BS. I agree. I agree 100%. Have they done messed up stuff? Have they said messed up stuff? Yeah. You know what I mean? But the Aspen, I'm squinting with that one. And given Kathy's reaction, I don't believe it. I think that if she really did, for whatever reason, lose her mind and went off the deep end saying the N-word and homophobic stuff, I just believe her reaction would be different. I don't think she'd be on Watch What Happens Live. I don't think she'd be doing press. I don't think she'd be throwing premiere parties. I don't think she'd be talking about it, being like, I got upset. I said something mean about my sister, and I apologized to her, and it's over, and it is what it is. I don't think she would be doing all that if legitimately anyone, whether it's the camera crew, whether it's the production, whether it's the intern, whether it's the assistant, whether it's Rinna, anyone could have any type of footage on their phone, on their camera, on their laptop. You know, nowadays people have phones all over the place, right? Right now, I could be talking, you guys could be recording on a phone and boom, you have it. You know, like this day and age, I think if there was even the slightest chance that any type of technology picked up the receipt, her reaction would be very, very, very different. You know what I mean? Hey, Joanne, she goes, I don't think Kathy did it. Rinna is reaching 100%. 100%. Hey, chocolate drip goes, you're so smart. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Joanne, the words Crystal uses like violate and dark, problematic, or strong, in my opinion. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I think Crystal goes to extremes because I think she has such low self-esteem. She thinks she has to go to such extremes in order to have herself heard and validated, if that makes sense. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Misty. She goes, Crystal wants to be down with the Mean Girls. Yeah, she wanted to be down with the Mean Girls until she quickly realized she was never going to be one of them, and they turned on her. The whole sympathy they had for you, boo-boo, that was fake. They were getting ammunition. You gave them your weakness, and they turned it around and threw it in your face because they don't care about you, boo-boo. This is the thing. They don't even like each other. It is an alliance, not a friendship. It's an allegiance, not loyalty. With Garcelle and Sutton, that is a friendship and that is loyalty. With these other people, they are allegiances and alliances. Those are two very different things. Two very different things. That's right, you guys. Get the likes up. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Darren Hood, I'm here for the fans, literally exposing Bravo because we're tired of the nonsense. Exactly. Misty, Erika comments. Erika's a hot mess. Did anybody notice Erika's racial microaggression when she was talking about Garcelle during the after show? She was like, Dorit, she's like, Garcelle of all people should understand. She's been through some stuff. She should know. Why? Because her son had an addiction problem and she got him help and held him accountable, and he's better than ever now. Now she should, give you a pass because you're a mess and you're admitting on camera to mixing meds and alcohol? Those two things don't, I'm confused. Those two things don't equate for me. Those two things don't work out for me. I don't get it. Hey, Miss T, Sutton didn't mean any harm. I'm glad they moved on. No, she didn't. Hey, Gloria. She goes, hello, Candace in the chat. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? What is up? Hey, black girl. Really? I don't see her ever divorcing him. I think this is the thing. I think if it comes out that this whole Dorit thing is true, does she have a choice? You know what I mean? It's kind of like she almost has to, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want it to be true. Let's put it that. I don't want it to be true. But I agree with you. It's almost like you see them together forever. Black Gal says open marriage, maybe. Or Mauricio does what Mauricio wants and Kyle just kind of puts up with it. I don't see her cheating. I don't see her with anybody else, but I see her allowing Mo to be Mo. Hey, Joanne, I heard that rumor too. Yep. Hey, Gloria, if I'm not mistaken, Lisa's going to turn on Erika and Aspen, and that's where they're going to fall out. Wow. Time will tell. Time will tell. Natasky, oh my God, that smoking cycle was right? That's what the psychic said. He will never fulfill you. And then once the kids are gone and grown, you'll have nothing to talk about. 100%. 100%. If I skipped any comments, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get everybody up. Hey, Shay B, I think I'm going to call my doctor now. I need a testosterone levels checked. Oh my God. Exactly. And ask at Black Girl, Lisa allegedly helping Erika launder, hide money, probably. Yes. So remember that how Erika and Lisa had shared a money manager at some point? So yeah, and allegedly Erika had given Lisa some seed money for one of her businesses and all of this stuff. So it's going down. But speaking of Erika and her legal battles, Erika could get arrested if she does not humble herself. So I don't know what the date is, but there's an upcoming date in one of the many lawsuits that she's facing. And one of the victims, his name is, I forget his first name, but I think his last name is Gomez. So I'm going to call him Mr. Gomez. He was in the big explosion, and he has 90% of his body was burned. His girlfriend passed away. in the explosion. He was awarded $11 million and he saw none of it. Allegedly, Tom Girardi swindled him out of his $11 million settlement. To me, $11 million is not enough. Someone lost their life, and this man, 90% of his body is burned. I don't think $11 million is enough, but it is what he got. And Tom Girardi stole it from him, allegedly. So there is an upcoming court date within that court case. And there's going to be him and other victims who come and talk and share. And he is petitioning to the judge to make it mandatory that Erika actually show up. So now, she has all these lawyers. So when they go to court, she doesn't have to show up. Her lawyer goes and lawyers on her behalf. But he was like, no, I want her to show up. I want her to talk about where her money is, all of her finances, where is she getting money? Because if you think about it, evil Erika still gets on TV and online and playing our faces every day, acting like she is some type of victim, acting like her life now is so destitute. When the truth is, her life now, even after everything that's gone down, is still a part of the 1%. Her life is still better as facing all of these lawsuits, everything that has come out. Her life is still better than 99% of the rest of the world. She still has, I don't care what she says, she still has access to millions of dollars. She lives in a multi-million-dollar home here in LA. She still has Range Rovers and cars and all of this stuff. She still has all the designer clothes. She still has a makeup team that travels with her. What exactly is the problem in your life, Erika? What exactly are you trying to claw your way back up to? You're appealing, the blood diamond money. Oh, and I'll get to that in a second about Tom Girardi's mistress. Don't let me forget this part. Because I actually have you guys know me. I have a different opinion about his mistress than how everybody else has been reporting her. I have a different opinion on her. And I'm going to tell you about it in a second when I finish this. So, Erika, please miss me. Like, you need to literally be in jail. You need to go to jail. For these once these allegations are proven true, again, I'm going to say allegations, you need to go to jail. You were in tandem with that man, with putting the money in your stuff. The $27 billion lawsuit, allegedly you dressed up, and you went into the bank, and the bank knew you were lying, but they were in on the heist, so they let you do it. So they used this victim's account as their personal piggy bank. Kyle's husband is named in that lawsuit. Kathy's husband is named in that lawsuit too. Quiet as it's kept. So yeah, Erika, miss me with all this. I'm really confused. What suffering are you talking about? How hard on you has it been? You lived a very, very lavish, luxurious, carefree life that was not yours to live. That money never belonged to you. The life you had was literally stolen. And you have the audacity to play in our faces and act like you're a victim? I can't wait till you're in the clink clink. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I don't wish ill on anyone. I'm just saying I will be very excited when karma comes to pay a visit. Because the life you're living now is better than the majority of the people on this planet. Particularly right now with what the world is going through. What the world is going through now on a daily, there are literally countries who don't have enough water to feed their population or clean or food or housing. Not even other countries. In America, there are people who don't have enough food, who don't have enough resources, who are finding themselves homeless on the street. And you have the audacity to act like people need to coddle you. Erika, catch me outside. I'm like this tall, but catch me outside, Erika. Okay? Anyway. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Tosca, yeah. Have you heard about Erika and Tom stealing $27 billion? That's exactly what I'm talking about. And billion. Yep, she allegedly took out $2,500 a day. Yes, that's the lawsuit I'm talking about. It's against some guy, some person named something White. Bank of America Merrill Lynch, Tom Girardi, Erika Girardi, Mauricio Upamski, Rick Hilton, and a bunch of other people have all been named in that. They basically used this person's account. They froze out the people who had the actual rights to it. They froze them out of their own money, and then they used it basically as their own piggy bank. All these people paying off, whatever. It's so disgusting. Is that the lawsuit Sutton was referring to? I think the lawsuit Sutton was referring to is a different one. Because I think the reason why they reached out to Sutton was because she said that she knew people at Tom Girardi's firm who quit because they knew about the fraud and they didn't want to be a part of it. And I think for that lawsuit, they wanted to see what she knew about that. But yeah. Hey, Atoski, she goes, I'm 5'10". I got your back with Erika outside, right? Like, I'm sorry, but there's too many good, decent human beings who are genuinely suffering right now, where it's like the shows I used to go to escape, like a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It should be an escape. I no longer can escape because I'm looking at people who have trafficked children for sex. And I'm looking at people who have their life because they stole from widows and orphans and burn victims and doing these $27 billion Ponzi schemes. Like, how can we escape from we're normal people. How can we escape from the hobnob and the grudge of our everyday life when the shows that we use to escape are literally showing us criminals and playing in our face? It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. What was the thing I was supposed to get back to with Erika and what was that? What was I going to get back to? It was Erika talking about what? Tom Girardi. Oh, the mistress. Got it. I remember now. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have seen other people comment on the whole mistress thing. So I'll walk you through it. There's a mistress. Her name is Trisha. She, I think last year she stepped down. She was like an appellate judge or something like that. Anyway, she admitted to like years-long affair with Tom Girardi. So Tom would buy her plastic surgery. He would give her gifts, and he paid for part of her law school and like all of this stuff, right? And so she is a judge or was a judge or whatever the situation is. I think she's always a judge, but maybe she like stepped down from a certain position. Anyway, she's this judge person over here in California, right? She's the mistress. She got all these lavish gifts, got all of this money, this, that, and the third, right? Now, everyone's been reporting on how she has now come out and she's like, through her rep, she wants nothing to do with this blood money. She wants to give back all of the gifts Tom has given her. And, the plastic surgery, we're not going to say what exactly she got done, but, we'll see like what the appraisal amount is and we'll find a way to settle. She wants nothing to do with him. She had no idea he was this fraud. She thought he was this, great, powerful, successful lawyer. And yes, she was the mistress, but, she thought the money was clean. She had no idea he was a fraud. She just wants to do the right thing because she's a judge and she advocates. And she's also like a big advocate for like victims' rights. All of this stuff, like she's a huge advocate for victim rights. She's this judge. Her name's Trisha, all this stuff. And everyone's like applauding her. Like, wow, she has morals. It's a cold day when the mistress has more morals than the wife, than Erika. Y'all fell for that okie doke. Y'all fell for that okie doke. Listen. And I love my other content creators, but you gotta come to the conspiracy theory side with me sometimes. You guys have to actually think about what is actually being said and what makes sense from the human experience. Because human beings, by default, we act in our own self-perseverance and we act in our own self-interest, right? So don't just get the byline that these people are giving. Oh, mistress is so moral high ground, giving back all of the gifts, wants none of the money, wants none of the gifts back. No. I'm gonna break this down from a we see each other level, okay? Yes, Nataski, critical thinking. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Miss T says you can't stand on your morals and be a mistress, Candy. This is the thing. She could have, but she's not. That's the thing. Let me break it down and rock with me on this, and let me know what you think. It has been over 2 years now. How long has it been since the Tom Girardi scandal broke? 2021. We have to tell in a 2020 to 2022. We about to say hello to 2023, right? We about to go see 2023. This dropped 2021. It's been, I'll be gracious, it's been 1 year to 3 years of this debacle. And remember, it's always within those circles out before it's out here. The same way Sutton said she knew people who already said he was fraudulent and left. The same way Bethany Frankel came out and said, oh yeah, we all knew Tom Girardi was fraudulent. You know, her fiance who passed away, unfortunately, was like, yeah, don't do business with him because he's a fraud. It's not legit. So people knew in those worlds and those circles. People knew. I'm going to give the mistress, and this is me being very, very kind, I'm going to give her 100% the benefit of the doubt. She had no idea he was fraudulent. I'm calling bullshit on that, though, because I think she knew something. I think she knew there was maybe not the extent, but I do think she knew something wasn't right. I think everyone knew that there was a fly in the milk. Okay, I think everybody within their world, knew something was amiss, right? Maybe not the extent, but let me just be 100% kind and give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's say she had no idea, right? None. Okay. This scandal has been out for years. What took you so long, mistress, to say, oh, you know what? Maybe I should give back all of the gifts and all of the money and all of the stuff he gave me, because it seems more likely than not, this is blood money. Miss, I stand for victims' rights. Miss, I'm a judge and I stand for the people and I want to make sure victims are made whole. Why were you holding on to the plastic surgery money, the paying your way through law school money, the checks and all of the expensive gifts and every single thing that all of the stuff he gave you over the years that you were screwing him? Why did it take you this long to all of a sudden get a conscience and say, oh, you know what? Maybe I should give all this stuff back. You know why? Because it came out that the people, like the conservator people, all of the people doing the lawsuit against Girardi, they are tracking, they're nickeling and diming everything. And it came out that they were able to trace 2 checks. One was for $5K. I think another one was for $10K. Check me on the numbers. But they were able to check, and I mean prove, Tom had given her, he had cut her these checks directly from the victim's money. They were able to, like, they had the paper trail. And so the feds, whoever it is, knocked on this lady's door and was like, excuse me, miss, can you tell us about this check? We have this paper trail. We're doing, they're doing their whole due diligence the same way they did with the blood diamond earrings. That's when the judge was like, Erika, you have to put them over because we have the actual receipt paper trail that these were bought with stolen money. And that's why he made her give the diamonds back to the conservatorship, and that's why she's appealing it. So this is the thing. The only difference between Erika and the mistress is that the mistress has a better PR team. A better PR team. And the mistress has more to lose with the prestige of her being a judge and the prestige of her being a victim's advocate and the prestige of her being in that world. Because if the judge was actually this moral person, she's out here fronting to be through her PR press release, day one, when she realized he had stolen all this money, that would have been the day she would have went to the feds. By the way, he gave me all of these checks. He gave me all this money. He gave me all these gifts. I'm sick to my stomach. I had no idea that's where this money came from. Let me help you. Here's our phone stuff. Here's the thing, whatever. Here are all the gifts. She would have been making the victims whole the moment it came out. Chick waited years. Chick waited until the feds came knocking at her door to hold her accountable for accepting the blood money. But because she has something to lose in that world, whereas Erika doesn't, nobody cares about Erika. Nobody respects Erika. Erika doesn't have a career. Pretty much get out of here. You know what I mean? She's not a judge. She's not a judge for victim advocates in that world. The mistress is no different than Erika. You both were screwing that man. You both knew he was being fraudulent with people. You both took blood money. The only difference is this judge mistress has something to lose, and her PR people and her team were like, we need to spin this to make you come out on top. We need to spin this like you're cooperating. We need to spin this like you're disgusted. We need to spin this like you're so surprised you had no idea. We need to spin this so you can keep your job as a judge. So the people who are like, the moral mistress, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She's not a moral mistress. She just has a better PR team. She just has something to lose. If she was the moral mistress, she would have from day one been like, whoa, I had no idea. He bought me this and this and this. Here, take it, liquidate it, sell it, do what you have to do to make the victims whole. I'm a judge. I know what it feels like to see the victims. I'm a victim's advocate. What can I do to help? You don't wait until you're caught to take the moral high ground. That's what this chick did. She waited till she got caught. She waited till the feds knocked on her door and was like, excuse me, miss, we got to talk because we got a paper trail that you happily received some blood money. So the mistress is not the moral person. She's not, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. She wants to give this stuff back out of the goodness of her heart. She's giving this stuff back because she got caught. She has something to lose, and she has a better PR team than Erika Jayne. That is what is really going on, because you have to really think about what really motivates people to act or to not act, right? What really motivates people to do things? Erika is motivated right now because she feels like in her delusional mind, she's losing everything that she's entitled to. She's delusional, psycho, narcissistic, psychotic, all of that stuff. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying. So she's scrapping for everything, appealing everything, holding on to everything, because she thinks she's acting in her own best interest, self-perseverance. Like she said at the beginning of the show, I don't give an F about anybody but myself. She said that point blank, period. When she was talking to Crystal, she goes, oh, Crystal, you think it's cool to be on the side of the victims, but I don't give an F about anybody but myself. Erika Jayne said that. That's why she's clawing for everything she can get. That's why in her delusional mind, she thinks the fact that she's living in a multi-million-dollar house versus a multi-million-dollar house somehow is the world coming down on her. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hey, Miss T, she retired. How old is she? Younger than Tom, I assume. Yes, she is, but older enough to have common sense. Exactly, Joanne. That's why she retired, in my opinion. Exactly, Miss T says early retirement. Yep. Last year she stepped down. You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole thing. It's just like, if you really were this moral person, first of all, you wouldn't have been sleeping with a married man. Just call a thing a thing. Secondly, you would have given that stuff back from jump. You were just waiting to see if they were going to get you. You're like, they're talking about Erika and Tom. Okay, I'm good. I can keep what I got. You were just waiting to see if they were going to be on to you. And then they were on to you. You had your PR campaign come up. All this other stuff. You probably, retired now. You're waiting till the smoke clears. And I bet you in a couple of years, you'll probably be right back on the bench. You're taking a pause. We see you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, you guys, you got to really think critically. Like some of these other people were like, the moral mistress. I was like, what? I was like, that doesn't compute. I'm confused. How is she moral? She got caught. And she's just smart enough to play the game. She's not moral. Moral would have been, oh my God, I can't believe this. Here is everything. What can I do to help? That's would have been moral. Hey, Misty, all Erika's terrible songs say exactly how she really feels. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Natoski, yeah, as soon as the exposure happened and stuff, she should have been placed in a box and sent to the authorities. 100%, exactly. Exactly. No, she was waiting. She was etching her bets. She was just like, maybe they'll come after me, maybe they don't. If they don't come after me, I'm keeping my mouth shut and I'm keeping my gifts. Exactly. Exactly, Toski. She's smarter, not more moral. Exactly. Exactly. Shady says immoral. Exactly. Exactly. She's just smarter, more strategic, has a better team on her court, and she knows how to play the game better. Not more moral. More strategic and smarter. And had a good publicist. Hey, Joanne. Erika and Kyle said at the reunion, go after the mistress. Yep. Hey, Vaca. Exactly. Right. Yep. Miss T, is she a judge in California? I'm sure she had inside info. Exactly. Everybody in California in that world knew. The California State Bar knew and did nothing. And he was paying off people. The corruption is real. This is the thing. You can't steal as much and how long as this man did without help. This is the real truth. As sad as it is, and I don't want to sound cynical, but I do want to be realistic. It's a network of corruption that happens. We hear about it all the time. Cops get paid off, judges get paid off, authorities get paid off, people at the state bar get paid off, witnesses get paid off. It's sad. I want to believe in our judicial system, and at the core I do. But as long as anything is being run by human beings, it is corruptible because human beings are corruptible. You know, everybody has a certain limit of a price. I'm a pretty moral person, but if you said, we're going to do this to your mother unless you do this, I'm corruptible. I will go corrupt to protect someone that I love. You know, so as human beings, we all have a price. Some people, they just want money. Some people, they want power. Some people, they want influence. Some people want sex. Some people want whatever it is, right? The sort of like the dark corruptible things. But as long as any institution, any system is being run by human beings, it is inherently corruptible because everybody has a price. And that is the truth as human beings. That's why people should say they will never do something. As human beings, you never know under what circumstances you're capable of doing good or bad. So do I believe in our system in a metaphysical, philosophical sense? Yes. In a realistic sense, it's a crapshoot. That's the truth. It's a crapshoot. That's why you could have two people commit the same exact crime, go up against one judge, they'll get a slap on the wrist. Go up against a second judge, they'll get 10 years in the slammer. X, Y, and Z. Same exact crime. Two different verdicts. It's a crapshoot. Let's see. Hey, Joanne, the judge probably had one of those 25 debit cards, right? Judgy, wudgy. Judgy. Shady says, yes, they do. Hey, Dusky, yep, these large-scale, decade-long crimes are only able to continue with a network of help. Exactly. I don't know if you guys are following the Murdaugh mysteries or the Murdaugh murders about what happened. I think it's North Carolina. I could do a whole thing on that. That is another example of just systematic corruption. I mean, to like, we're talking about, you know, him stealing from victims. These people legitimately killed people, like covering up murders type stuff. And the one guy, Alec, he got arrested for killing his son and his wife, covering up the stuff. And this was like decades and decades of family corruption. Hey, Joanne, maybe Tom made her a judge. He had that power. Exactly. Maybe that's why she stepped down, because the only way she got a judge, she became a judge because she was screwing Tom. That's another type of corruption. I'm going to screw you. We're going to have sex and you're going to put me up and make me a judge. Someone who has the power, I don't understand how a lawyer has the power to make a judge. Doesn't that even sounds backward and corrupt to me, because judges oversee the cases that the lawyers try. So how can I, as a lawyer, have the power to give the person who's overseeing me their job? That's like saying the intern has the power to hire the CEO. Aren't I overseeing you? Even that, like, how did that work? You know what I mean? Even that's a level of corruption, in my opinion. Hey, Miss T, the system works better when you have money. The system works better when you have money. Again, I'm going to call a thing. The system works better when you're white. The system works better when you have connections. The system works better when the people who are judging you identify with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the truth. It's not anything, anything. It's just the truth. If you identify with someone, you're more likely to be lenient towards them. That's why representation matters. That's why our legal system needs to be checked. Hey, Tusky, I love how you call it the slammer. Did I say the slammer? Well, they all need to be in the slammer. They all do. Joanna's laughing. Hey, Miss T, that crazy man was a lawyer and killed his whole family. Yes, Alec Murdaugh. He killed his youngest son, and he killed his wife. Allegedly. He's been arrested for it, not convicted yet. Because of all this stuff, and there was just so much corruption. And the son that he allegedly killed had killed this girl named Mallory Beach. He was drunk and he was driving a boat and it crashed and she went flying and she ended up dying. Some of the other kids got injured, but she ended up dying. And there was this whole lawsuit that's still going on, this whole civil wrongful death suit where they were suing the family for like millions and millions of dollars and all this stuff. So it's deep. And then it turned out that he essentially, Alec Murdaugh did exactly what Tom Girardi is being accused of. He stole settlement money from his clients. He created all of these like fake bank accounts. He created all of these fake stuff, got his friends in on it, and they swindled millions upon millions. Upon millions of dollars from these people. And usually, of course, the people are from low-income families. A lot of them were minorities. A lot of them were from the vulnerable sector that had things happen to them, like personal injury lawsuits or insurance lawsuits or things like that. And they thought, oh, we're going to this man, he is so prestigious. His family's has been in like the legal profession for like literally like centuries. It was like his father's 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 father. This was like some deep South type of stuff. And essentially they would get them these big settlements, and then he would not actually forfeit the money to them. And then they were so fearful of him that they were like, well, we don't have any money and he's super powerful. Who's going to believe us? So for years, they were swindling all of these people. His own his housekeeper died under very suspicious circumstances at his house. He went to the housekeeper's sons at the funeral and was like, oh, I'm going to, I feel so bad. I'm going to hook you up with a great lawyer. You guys sue my insurance and I'll get you guys a bunch of money. And the sons believed him. They're like, oh, thank you. Our mother passed away. We considered you family. You're going to help us out, right? No. He got his college roommate, his best friend, the godfather of his child, who's also a lawyer, to be the family's lawyer for the insurance suit. They ended up swindling the boys out of millions. I want to say like $4.5 million. The boys saw nothing. So essentially what Alec did was his housekeeper died at his home, said she slipped down the stairs because of the dogs, but then on the autopsy, it said that it was natural causes. This woman was in her 50s or 60s in good health. Like, none of it made sense. They're actually going to exhume her body to see exactly what really happened, because they even think the coroner was corrupt, because a slip and fall, if that was the truth, that's not the natural causes. Anyway, I know I'm totally off on a tangent, but this story is insane. He basically defrauded her children out of the insurance money. Because I think there's a certain type of insurance where if somebody, like a wrongful death at your house, you can sue them and get the insurance money or whatever. He stole the insurance money from the woman's death from her children. They never saw a dime. They only realized that there was a settlement money when they read it in the newspaper after everything came out after this man shot and killed, allegedly, his wife and son. Like, I'm telling you, this thing is so insidious and it's so crazy. It is so crazy. Natasha says century long. Yes. Shady says that's disgusting. I know. Ms. T, all judges started as lawyers. That's when Tom got to them. Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But lawyers shouldn't have more power than a judge. You know what I mean? Ms. T, didn't Tom write down some of the tests? I mean, probably. What else? Minatoski, he was giving money to high-level politicians. Yes. Yep. Remember how the Cali governor, Gavin Newsom, who looks like an American Psycho guy, Gavin Newsom. That's Gavin Newsom. That's my governor. Said how he loves Tom Girardi on Watch What Happens Live. Yep, he was giving them all the money. Shay B, what a tangled web we weave. Exactly. Hey Joanne, yes, Tom would do the bear test for lawyers to pass. The bar test. Yep. That is crazy. Hey Shay B, that man had crazy power in his town. Yeah. His name is Alec Murdaugh. It's spelled Alex, A-L-E-X, but it's pronounced Alec. And there's like a lot of podcasts and everybody's talking about it. We could do some true crime. You know I love a conspiracy theory over here. Hey, Ms. T, your lawyer should never tell you where they want you to help you invest your money. Exactly. If you ever have a settlement or a lawsuit, your lawyer is not your financial advisor. Your lawyer is your lawyer. And he should not or she should not tell you where to invest your settlement money, where to keep it, how to disperse it, or any of that. Yeah, like a literal century. Yeah. No, this family, the Murdaugh family, kind of still is. It's crazy how this still is going on. Was in power in this town for literally 100 years at least. It was him, it was Alec, his father, his father's father, his grandfather, maybe even the father before that. So deep, in fact, that in the very courtroom where he was being arraigned was a huge mural painting, one of those creepy, weird portraits of his great-grandfather or of his grandfather, one of the two. So you're literally in a place and there's a shrine to your grandfather? Come on now. Oh, Joanne says, who is she talking about? Alec Murdaugh. It's A-L-E-X and it's M-A-U Murdaugh. M-A-U, and I think it's like D-U-R-G-H or something like that. But if you just look it up, you'll see it. It's crazy. That's fantastic. Their family monopolized the whole town. 100%. The family has a lot of power. Yep. 100%. I guess his grandfather wanted to see the truth firsthand, right? Y'all, like his great-grandfather. Yo, that is crazy. We could do a live on that because that is insane. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Anything I missed? Diana is the worst. Yes, she is. Oh, why is Diana? Diana, why are you talking? Like, have we learned nothing from Jen Shaw? Have we learned nothing from Erika, from Teresa Giudice, from Apollo, from all of these people? Shut up and go away, Diana. Because it's only a matter of time before the feds are knocking on your rented door. For as much money as she says she has, the house she shoots in is rented. She said she didn't want her real house on camera. Why? What are you hiding? Who are you running from? What are you hiding, sweetheart, right? So I don't understand why Diana is out here in these streets posting about, when she misspelled Garcelle's name and that group text she did about how she had the miscarriage and she couldn't come out because she was on bed rest, but then she came out anyway and all that stuff. And Garcelle is just like, nobody really cued you for having a miscarriage, sweetheart. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're going too far, too deep. Like, Diana, please just sit down, shut up like Teddy, and just go away. I'm tired of saying your name. Go away. Actually, go to jail. Go to jail. Bravo needs a new show. Bravo after lockup, or lockup after Bravo. And they should do a huge documentary of all the people who go on Bravo and then end up in jail. Diana needs to go to jail. I don't know why she's on Twitter. And you know what? Garcelle, Sutton, Kathy, Crystal, if you're watching this, I need you to bring up Diana's past. I need someone on the show to bring up Diana's past dead to her face and see what she says. Apparently it happened, but like the blind Adam says, Bravo deleted it. So I want to see. I want to see. I want to see this. Let's see what you guys are saying. Miss T, Diana has all her money in Bosnia. She spent it on Asher. Hey, Joanne, how about Diana saying Garcelle is guarded? Rinna said Diana is in pain. Oh, okay. My thoughts on that is proof that Diana's stupid. We already know that. But also because, and I don't say stupid lightly. I don't say it in a bullying way. I say it in literally, she's dumb. Because what it proves is that the ladies get together. By ladies, I mean the Fox 4. And they have certain narratives about the other women they want to get out. Clearly, Diana has been coached about what to say against Sutton and Garcelle. With Sutton, remember when she randomly said, the first time she ever met Sutton, she randomly said, "You're clumsy with your words." I think she was told to say that by Erika and Rinna, because you're clumsy with your words. It sounds like something Erika would say, that particular phrase. And the fact that Diana said it straight to Sutton the very first time they ever met, to me proves she was coached to say that. And then also in that scene, you see Erika go, like, good job. You're saying what we want to say. You're being our pet. So I think that they had gotten together. And I think that one narrative that the Fox 4 wanted to spin about Garcelle was that she was guarded. You know, the girls can't talk to her. They can't get close to her. She only wants to be friends with Sutton. All the BS that they were trying to spin. And I think that Diana knew that at some point in the night, this was a line she was supposed to say. But she's dumb. She's an idiot. And so she just said it at the wrong time. Because like Garcelle said, she was like, what? She was like, we were talking about lawyers and liabilities. How did it get to me being guarded? So I think it just proves that these women get together to talk about certain storylines they're supposed to say. Diana knows her marching orders, but she's just not smart enough to implant them at a time that makes sense. So to me, that just proved they get together and they talk about stuff. And Diana just said the wrong thing at the wrong time because she's not smart. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And Toski, she's probably connected like to certain agencies like Epstein, and so she's not even scared by the feds. She should be scared by the feds. Who do you think? You know what? They be watching YouTube. Even my little old channel, they might be coming down on me. All I am going to say is this. How do you think they got to Epstein? I don't think Epstein took his own life. They took him out. And the prison guards on duty, on S watch for him, just so happened to fall asleep, didn't hear anything, while he's allegedly taking his own life in his cell? No. They did the same thing to that McAfee guy. He was that billionaire tech guy who came up with the security software, the antivirus stuff. He sort of went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but he knew a lot of stuff. Like, he knew a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, by stuff, I mean like secrets. Like, he knew about a lot of corruption. He knew about a lot of secrets. He knew about a lot of unsavory stuff within the government and very high profile people. And he always said, if they ever catch me, because he went on the run, they said, if they ever catch me, I am not the S word. I would never take myself out. He was just like, listen. And I think he even tatted it on himself. And they found him dead in his cell. Allegedly from the S word. Absolutely not. No, trust me. When I say a conspiracy theory, I really mean it. Epstein did not take his own life. They took him out. And you have to think, how did they get access to him? And you also have to think about, at all of these agencies, the feds, the IRS, everywhere, those people are also corruptible. So I think Diana needs to be scared, because if they catch her and she has her little black book, they probably don't want the names of the people she has supplied children for to come out, because that's why they took Epstein out. He knew too much. Because another thing, he had all those tapes. What happened to the tapes? Because they could, if this is the thing, if everything was right and up to snuff when it comes to Epstein, how come the feds, nobody ever prosecuted a single person who participated in the underage exploitation and violation and assault of the young girls, and probably boys too? But with this stuff, we don't talk about the boys enough. But I bet you there were young men and boys, because they're children, underage, and even the ones who were overage, they were still being exploited. How come nobody was prosecuted? He had tapes upon tapes upon tapes upon tapes, because that's how he was exploiting people. That's where he got his money from. Oh, you don't want to invest in my idea? Well, what happens if I leak this tape of you having sex with a 14-year-old? Oh, you're a politician, you're an actor, you're a this, you're a that, you're an executive, you're this, you're that. Well, what's your wife going to think about if I show her this tape? What's the committee going to think about, right? That's how he got his money, through exploiting people and through providing people, right? So how come nobody else was named other than the people who it was so very public and obvious, where there was already in the media photos like Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and even our beloved Chris Rock? I'm not saying all of them did anything, but they were all associated with him because they all had like the photos and they went to Lolita and all of that stuff. But how come nobody else was prosecuted? Because that is a crime. That is a crime. Soliciting is a crime, and underage is a crime. They took him out because they were like, let's just take him out. Because the truth is, as horrible as Epstein was, he was just the middleman. But let me stop, because I don't want anybody, don't come after me, guys. I got nothing for you. I'm talking about the big head honchos. This is just me talking. Don't come after me. Okay, Toski, someone had a theory that Bravo is a trap that the feds lure these criminals to get exposed. No, I just think Bravo is a trap for malignant narcissists. I think that's just reality TV. Because if you think about it, even on other networks that do reality TV, those people are just as corrupt. Look at the Duggars, right? The Duggars, that family fronting like they were this like religious family, and it turns out the son was violating his younger sisters and siblings, and the parents did nothing. And then he just got caught for all of the C word, P word, for children in explicit photos and unsavory stuff, for children. Children as that. He just got, I don't want to say it on here. He got arrested and sentenced to jail. He's in jail. He's in prison now for that. So I really do think that reality TV is just a cesspool for narcissistic people who think that they're smarter than everybody and who think that they can get away with everything. He was on, what was it, TLC? Joanne, they made a plan in Hawaii. Yup. Hey, Darren Barrow versus fans. Hey, Shay, grow some balls, ladies. Bring it to the heat to the reunion. Exactly. Hey, Nataski, I love how when Lisa asked Garcelle, do you hear what Diana's saying? And Garcelle chuckles with Kathy and goes, do you? I loved it. I loved it too. I absolutely loved it too. JB, I would be guarded too. I would be guarded too, but I don't even think Garcelle is guarded. That's just the fake narrative they're putting out there. What these women are doing is what they were attempting to do, but were smarter than they are. They were attempting to create certain narratives about certain people to fit their agenda. They wanted to create the narrative that Crystal was a liar and she was not to be trusted and to discredit her because she said she didn't feel safe. I think Crystal was dead wrong for what she said about Sutton. I think she got put into a corner. I'm going to give her a little grace for that. They're trying to call it this false narrative that Sutton is a liability and Sutton is, clumsy with her words to discredit her, to get people not on her side, to get her off the show. Then they're trying to pull this fake narrative about Garcelle. Oh, you're guarded. We can't get close to you. Making it Garcelle's fault that they clearly do not F with her. For whatever reason. Because she's cool, because she's black, because she doesn't put up with their BS, because she calls a spade, because they cannot check her. They have checked Sutton. Sutton's gotten really good, but they've never checked Garcelle because they can't check Garcelle. And that's another reason why they want to create this fake narrative that she's guarded, she's this or that, to what's the word I'm looking for? To justify them basically icing her out. Joanne's laughing. This T says, what do you think about Sheree? Okay, so Sheree or Cherie. Wait, it's she by Sheree, but her name is Cherie. Okay. What I think about Cherie. I think Cherie, I don't think she's a flip-flopper because I don't think she necessarily goes against Garcelle. But I think that she is not within her integrity. Like, she doesn't really stand for anything. She's just trying to get the diamond by any means necessary. Like, I think she wants to come on the show as Garcelle's BFF, kick Sutton out, take Sutton diamonds, and take that place. That's why she doesn't really bond it with Sutton. Because I think in her mind, Sutton is holding her diamond. Because they always think, well, each housewife kind of has her, role position. So I don't think she felt that she could really, infiltrate Garcelle and Sutton. So she was just sort of, wanting to take Sutton out. But then on the flip side, this is where the flip-floppiness kind of goes. She's also like, well, let me get in good with the Fox 4 so that if it doesn't go the way I want it with this whole Garcelle Sutton thing, at least I can still go on the back end and get my diamond with these other chicks because they'll have my back and they'll vouch for me and I can be on their team. So she doesn't really have any integrity. She's not really standing for anyone or anything. She's just going where the wind blows and putting all her eggs in everybody's basket. But that comes across as being a flip-flopper. It comes across as being disloyal. Do I think she would take Garcelle's diamond if she thought it was push come to shove? Yes. But I do think that she is Garcelle's friend, and I do think that she would want to be on the show with her. But I don't think that she would go as far as to be so loyal that she would not double cross her if that's what it came to, if that makes sense. Hey, Natoski, yeah, totally. Diana got her timing wrong. That's right. Because she even said it. She was like, isn't that where we started? And they were like, no. Like, you got your time. Like, you don't know the cues. Like we didn't cue you in yet, Diana. Wrong, Pink Dynamite says, right, they took him out. Yes, they did. JB said, well, so red cell candy. Thank you. Hey, Toski, the prison guards got brand new houses. See? I'm just telling you. McAfee. Yeah, McAfee, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Toski says, yep. So, yeah, I mean, listen. What's that saying? Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm telling you. That's why... try and mind my business. Hey, Shay B, he's where he belongs, 100%. But other people belong there with him. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing. It's like he wouldn't have been able to do it. This is gonna sound sick, but it's the truth. He would not have been able to have sold the children, and that's literally what he did if he did not have a buyer. So if these sick individuals were not willing to pay for children and at-risk adults, there wouldn't be anything. So he's literally the middleman. How come none of these other people have been prosecuted? And they know who they are. He taped them. Where are the tapes? Where are the tapes? He taped them. He had cameras all over the mansions and the islands that he did all this stuff at. All over. That's how he extorted the people. Where are the tapes? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Where are the clients? Exactly. That's what I'm saying, you know? Yeah. Joanne says, you're a prince. Exactly. Yes, Miss T. Chris Rock was at the island with Jay-Z, allegedly. Yep. Chris Rock, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, and a bunch of other people. Even Diana was allegedly in a photo with him and all that stuff. Crazy. Hey, Miss T, the parents definitely knew. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Shay B and his wife stands by him. Ew. Ugh. You mean the Duggar? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and crazy. Yeah, Joanna, and the Grizzlies too. Yeah, the Grizzlies. I don't know if they've gotten sentenced yet, but they were found guilty of all of that fraud. All of that. They were cutting fake checks and lying about paperwork and doing this, that, and the third. They're nothing but Teresa and Jujice all over again. So it's not necessarily Bravo. I think it's reality TV is really a cesspool for narcissistic people. Like some reality TV works and it's not that, but there's also that really dark underbelly of it, you know? Natasha says gaslighting. I'm done with Cherie. I'm done with her too. Like this is the thing. I want someone who has a clear point of view. They rock with who they rock with. They don't rock with who they don't rock with. They come in and they are who they are and they're loyal. They have a storyline. It's a good kiki. I don't want someone who's hot today, cold tomorrow, cold today, hot tomorrow, this, that, and the third. Like mix me with all of that. Mix me with all of that. Exactly the way she sided with the Fox 4, I saw who she was and I was done. Exactly. She would take Garcelle's diamond if she could. Yep. She's not Garcelle's real friend, and I think Garcelle started to peep it, which is why she doesn't film with her as much. You might be right. Miss T says TLC is as bad as Bravo. Yep. Joanne says, where is Ghislaine's books? Exactly. Where are her books? Where are her books? Where's her stuff? Hey, Toski. If sickos don't have an appetite for it, he wouldn't have been so successful. Exactly. Miss T, facts. Andy and Carlos need to mix it up. They do. They do. Honestly, I'm kind of like, maybe it's time for like a different Andy. Maybe it's time, and like Carlos, I know you're just now getting your flowers, but if all you're going to do is rinse Ross and repeat what Andy did at Bravo, then come on. And I thought it was really tacky. Very, very tacky of Carl. And let me know if you agree with this or not, but I thought it was very tacky of Carlos King to be on Giselle and Robin's podcast talking trash about the Real Housewives of Dubai, calling the Real Housewives of bye-bye and all this other stuff. And I also thought it was really tacky of him to say that he thought that Sutton and Garcelle's friendship wasn't genuine or true. Like, Carlos, I know you are still feeling some type of way about how you departed Bravo. That's very obvious. I know you're trying to poach talent with Phaedra, and you're trying to, you know, strategically get the Bravo audience with the whole fake Sheree and Martell relationship that you constructed for your own good to get people watching your show. I get it. I get you feel some type of way about Kandi. I get it. But it's just in poor taste. Like, first of all, you used to work for Bravo on those shows. Secondly, you are now your own executive producer of your own shows. Like, where's your couth? You know, you would be dragging Andy for filth. If Andy got on Two Peas in a Pod podcast and was like, love and marriage, you know, ho, ho, hoville, love and marriage, ding dong DC, it's a bore, it's this, Carlos King will lose his damn mind. It would be an uproar. Could you imagine if Andy got on one of the Housewives podcasts and trashed Love and Marriage? Carlos would be in an uproar. Everybody would be going nuts. But Carlos, do you think it's appropriate to get on a Housewives podcast and slam the other housewives when you're an executive producer? It's not like you're another castmate of another show. It'd be one thing if it was like Melody or something like that. That's one thing, but you're a whole executive producer. Like, where are the lines? Where are the boundaries? Like, it's not cool. If Andy would have done that to Love and Marriage Huntsville, they would be like, you're a racist, Andy. How dare you go after Carlos King? How dare you go after a black franchise? See, down with Andy. But Carlos, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can't be going on the Bravo Real Housewives. And also, how come Andy didn't check Giselle and Garcelle and Robin for talking trash about the Real House of Dubai? He checked Lisa Rinna, as he should have. But he also needs to check Robin and Giselle. Robin and Giselle, the Real Housewives of Dubai is a part of your family franchise. You're Bravo Real Housewife. They're a Bravo Real Housewife. You getting on there and dogging them out is also uncouth and not a good look. And that's why Bravo and Andy have issues with certain housewives having podcasts talking about other housewives. When you get messy like that, you see what I'm saying? So Carlos, you got some stuff you got to clean up too. Giselle and Robin, you have no room to talk about anybody being boring. Real Housewives of Dubai girls, you guys know how I feel about them. I think season 2 will be better. Chanel Iman needs to grow up a lot. She's a big baby. Let's see. Natasha says, yeah, why is the Housewives coming for Dubai? Exactly. It's real. Everyone is doing it. It's not that bad of a show. I agree. It's not that bad of a show. And also, like, you're on Bravo. That's your network. Again, this isn't just, Kiki in the street. This is still a business. It's still your job. How do you think Bravo feels that you're on your podcast trashing one of their shows? It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And you're an active housewife. I could see if you were fired or on pause or let go, but you're an active housewife. Andy, you gotta get on that, but that's what Andy does. He plays favorites. When you're in favor with him, you get away with murder. Like a Giselle getting on her podcast talking crap about the ladies of Dubai. But now that Rinna is out of favor, Rinna gets on Twitter talking trash. He goes after her on Twitter. And I'm not defending Rinna. He was right to check Rinna. But he also needs to check them. And Carlos King, you're getting really sloppy. You're getting really messy. Like, your obsession with Bravo and Andy is showing. I'm proud of you. I think you're doing a great job. But the obsession with Bravo and Andy is showing. You know what I'm saying? Darren, I agree with you on that, Candy Cane. Yes, we see you, Sheree. Nice try. Yes. Hey, Toski, exactly. Hey, Toski, Carlos and Andy are rivals. Yep. Hey, Miss T, Dubai just needs to get its legs. Yeah, I think Dubai will be fine. I think next season will be even better. Miss T, same coin, different sides. Exactly. So it's like, come on, people, come on. Whew. Is there anything else we missed with Dubai? Okay, let's see. LVP, Teddy, Kyle, Erika. What else, you guys are saying on this? Miss T, Andy loves the mess and does stuff for clout too. That's what I'm saying. They're the same. That's what I'm saying. They're exactly the same. So it's like Carlos can't come for Andy, trying to hold Andy accountable when you do the same mess Andy does. You're both messy. That's my whole point. They're both messy. And like, Carlos, if you're gonna come, you gotta do better. It's just how it is. But all right, you guys, we have been on here for over 2 hours. If you've been having fun in this great Kiki, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share with a friend, because a Kiki is always better with community. I've had so much fun, and if you're watching this on the replay, be sure to comment below. Let me know. Do you agree with the conspiracy theories? Do you disagree with them? Whose side are you on? Are you ready for the reunion? Not the reunion, for Aspen. Oh, such a long season. And word on the street, they're skipping Wednesday, and they're going to take a break and come back because they need to re-edit some stuff. Because like I said, they're catching up to us. Kate Husky, I'm loving like Garcelle, Sutton, strong loyalty, showing the girls what real friendship looks like. Exactly. Garcelle and Sutton are actually friends. Oh, that's right. And Carlos King said that he didn't believe that they were really friends. Why? Like, why couldn't Sutton and Garcelle be real friends? They are real friends. They are. Garcelle is everything. Don't get it twisted, Carlos. Why can't Garcelle be friends with Sutton? Your bias is showing. You know what I mean? Why can't Garcelle be actually genuine friends with Sutton? Why, Carlos? Why? Miss me with that. Garcelle is in that world, okay? She's rich. She's influential. She's classy. Garcelle is doing a thing. Hey, Miss T, glad I made a live. Me too. This was so much fun. Yay! Bye. That's right. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Yes. It better be a two-part reunion. I bet you it's a three-parter with everything going on. I bet you. Oh, just 2 parts. Oh, that's why I said 3. All right, you guys. This was so much fun. That's right, my beautiful candy canes. Be sure to hit the like button on the way out, subscribe, and share with a friend. And coming up either later today or tomorrow, so hit the notification bell. I will be doing Bell Collective and Married to Medicine. And we'll skip Beverly Hills if it's not airing this week. If it is airing, we'll do it. If not, we'll do it next week. And then we'll also do the season finale of Dubai. And if we have time, I'll do some hot topics because there's lots going on in the pop culture streets. So I love you guys. Take care of yourself. Until next time, be happy. Enjoy your life. Watch out for the Dianas and the Erikas and the Tom Girardis of the world because they suck. All right. I love you guys. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go.